Dude, I have not played basketball for 5 years.
It showed. And by the way, I won't be playing for another 5.
It's a sweet hoop you got out there, and you got more mad game than I thought you did, given your general look.
The beard slows me down, but the hair makes me go faster.
Yeah, but the big left-handed hook at the end for the horse win was pretty sweet.
The weird thing there is I'm right-handed.
Oh, it's E all the way for you. You are something. All right, man, should we run some script for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The Eating of Hope it's the best event of the year.
It is the best event.
Well, you get to see everybody. You get to you raise a lot of money. You raise a lot of awareness. It's my favorite thing. It's the best.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to it last year, both to raise the money, raise awareness, but also to try to outshine you. And now I've got even more motivation.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so it's good. We're good for the 14th. It's tomorrow. What time we got to show up?
It's right around the corner. Yeah, it's the 14th. We got to be there at 7 o'clock.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I can do that. I bet you we've got to be there a few minutes early, but that's
probably
cool.
A few, yeah. The weird thing is that it's on the same date this year that it was last year.
Yeah, I think it must be a leap year. Wait.
What?
It was Saturday last year.
Have you talked to anybody?
No. Other than my family. What? What? Don't even.
No. No.
Uh-uh.
We're off by a year.
Oh, so we don't even do it this year? We're skipping again?
No. We're going. We're late.
What do you mean?
We got to leave right now.
It's today?
It's right now. We got to go.
Oh, man. When do we start?
It's time to go.
Okay.
That was close.
Oh, all right. Hello. Welcome to the 27th ALS Evening of Hope.
And the very first gala from home. A quick shout out to our friend Andy for taking care of us tonight. We've got our Bacardi drinks. We assume everybody at home is having their own beverage of choice. We hope it's a Bacardi. So welcome, everybody.
Cheers to you, and let me give you a little pointer. We can hear you, so if you unmute yourself, we got you. So maybe stay muted. Just a tip. But
please.
All right. Tonight is a special night, and we're proud to be your MCs. My name is Matt O'Neill, and I lost my dad to ALS. And let me tell you a little about him. Bruce O'Neill was the kind of dad everybody should have. He was the greatest dad. I know you all say that, but he was greater than other great dads. He was just such a great dad. And his whole life, he was a champ and just a sweet, sweet man and a terrific lawyer. And then late in his career, he started to lose his voice a little bit. Just couldn't make the noises that he used to be able to make, couldn't make the arguments. And they were looking and trying to figure out what it was. And in the meantime, I got to practice law with him and take over and do his cases, and we found out it was ALS. And it was a tough thing, and I just wanted to share with people today the reason we're here, the reason we're trying to end ALS is because many things, but it really takes the dignity away from a person one point at a time. A couple things with my dad. I worked with him, and I had to go to his office one day and deliver the news that, Dad, you can't drive your car anymore. It's just not safe. Like, we had all talked about it, and it was hard for him to reach that hump, but I had to talk him through it. Another time, as it continued its progression, my stepmom came to pick him up from work, and I got a call a little while later. He was downstairs, and they said, can you come get Dad out of the car? His legs won't move. Just couldn't move. So I had to go down in the middle of the day and literally carry my father to the car. And then as it progressed on, he lost the ability really to communicate at all. We couldn't understand anything he was saying. He could point at things with his thumb. And when it came down to the end and he was in the hospital and we all gathered and they tried to suggest they could put a air tube in him. And he got his one working thumb out and we got some letters to him and he pointed out to us, pull the plug. We said, Dad, you mean you don't want anything else done? And he nodded. And we knew that was it. And then as we all gathered around at the end of the night, he summoned up the will, the courage, the strength that ALS had taken from him, and he said, I love you all. And that was the last thing he said. And he was gone within 5 minutes. So those things don't need to happen. We know it's curable. We know it's fixable, so that's why we're here tonight. So I'm here for Bruce. Tim?
Thanks, Matt. My name's Tim Wendler. My wife, Trickett, next week will mark the 6th anniversary of her passing. Trickett was diagnosed in 2013. And like similar, I think probably to a lot of people watching tonight and anybody that's either a patient or a caregiver out there, we reacted in much the same way. Panic, trying to find out what is a cure, how do we find a cure, how do we deal with, we had 3 small children, 9, 7, and 5 at the time. And how are we going to navigate this? I will say, when I think back around that 2013, there were three very specific things that kind of jump out to me as what Trickett was really focused on. And I give her all the credit for it because she was very, very clear about what needed to happen. One was the medical side of it. You know, I assume like every other family, you were trying to find out. We traveled all over the country. We tried to find the best doctors and the best, we'd enter into clinical trials and figure out how we can, make a difference and how we can cope and what this really is going to mean to our family. So we did a lot of that. The second thing that we did was we wanted to make as many memories. And again, Trickett was leading the way there. We have those 3 small kids, and we tried to make as many memories with them so that they could remember their mom prior to the disease and then the legacy that she would leave after. And so we did that. And then the third thing that we did was she said, we got to get involved. We have to be out in front of this. Because of the nature of the ALS that Trickett had, my kids are predisposed for ALS, and there's a history of it in her family. And so she wanted to be out in the forefront. She was very, very vocal. Before she lost the ability to stop walking, she climbed into the wheelchair, taking that initiative to let everybody know that she was going to be out front of that and try to be as inspirational as she can. She passed away in 2015, on March 18th of 2015. And prior to that time and since that time, I think that we have tried to carry on that legacy that she instilled in us. And that's why I think tonight and every other event that we attend and try to raise awareness and we try to create a cure for this awful, terrible, rotten, no good disease, I think she would look at us tonight and say, this is what I envision. This is what I want. I want everybody to be aware that this disease can be cured. And that's why we're here tonight. I know everybody tuning in tonight has similar stories, very inspirational. And we're going to hear a lot of that stuff tonight later on. But it's stories like Matt's dad, Bruce, and Trickett, why we're calling on everybody tonight to share what you can with us, both emotionally and financially, to solve and put an end to this awful disease. Tonight, we are going to make ALS disappear.
Tim, she was beautiful. Your kids are beautiful. You're just all right. But let's do this for Trickett and Bruce. Tonight, we're going to be checking in throughout the night to see how we can make ALS disappear. So what you're going to see on the screen is an ALS, the letters ALS, and in red, and that red is going to disappear as the contributions come in. We're hoping you here are here to support us because we've got big goals. So we've got your donations to the auction. We've got straight up donations. What's our goal, Tim? Our goal is going to be to help raise $100,000 tonight to help make ALS disappear.
We can do it. Tonight, with everybody's help, now you can see the big board up there. With everybody's help, we're going to make all of those letters disappear.
We've already seen some great traction on the auction items. We've been following it along, and donations even before it started. Let's see where we're at.
Let's go. Let's take a look.
Oh yeah, baby.
Drum roll, please. $5,000.
All
That
right.
is an excellent start. Right out of the gate, Matt. I got to tell you, I was a little nervous, but I have a great feeling about us hitting our $100,000 goal tonight. Now, you at home may be wondering, we're not with you guys on stage tonight. We're not drinking Bacardi with you guys tonight. How can we help? Let us show you.
Well, how can we help? By donating. And we've given you a couple ways to do it. The easiest way to get on our platform, if you're not on already, is get your cell phone. We know you all have them. Take a look at the video screen right now. It's going to show you how easy this is. All you have to do is text END ALS, just one word, to 243725. That's 243725, END ALS. You will automatically receive a link to our donation appeal and to the auction. Just follow the instructions on screen. We can all do this.
Matt, I don't know if you've had a chance to take a look at some of those auction items. I have been able to scroll through there. I've bid on several. I've been outbid the entire time. I'm at a bit of a disadvantage while I'm talking right now. I can't check my phone because it feels like people right now are bidding against me.
Yeah, I started bidding yesterday, Tim, on one of the cabins up near Sand Valley, and I'm getting creamed. Every time I put something in, somebody seems bound and determined to take that away from me. So we'll see. We're going to have a break or two tonight, and I may pump in another bid. There's lots of good stuff.
That's right.
So we're going to keep reminding you, and I hope you don't get annoyed because we're here to raise money. We're going to keep reminding you how to contribute as we hear more from our friends and families about how ALS has affected them and why we're doing this.
I mentioned Trickett a little bit ago. One of our favorite quotes. Some of you may know Dr. Stan Appel. He's a neuroscientist in Houston for Houston Methodist. Trickett never got a chance to meet him. Teelan, my daughter, and I had a chance to meet him. He is somebody that I think everybody would agree would be a pioneer in the space for ALS and trying to find a solution and find a cure for it. When you meet the man, it's less about, in my experience, was less about hope. He was a guy that really gave you confidence that there is a cure out there. So he's been published many times. He's got 15 books. He's been published 350 times. He is one of the foremost leading experts on there. Years ago, he sat in front of Congress and testified about what was needed in order to solve ALS. And Trickett and I coalesced around this philosophy. What he said is that ALS is not incurable. It is simply underfunded. So that's why we continue to put out, these opportunities for people to contribute, raise awareness, raise money. Again, in order to contribute money tonight, we are asking you to text END ALS, one word, to 243725.
Agreed, Tim. We're going to do this thing. And with that, it's our pleasure to introduce our first special guest, Dr. Allison Ebert. Dr. Ebert has been studying neurodegenerative diseases for 20 years, spending 10 of those years specifically on ALS research, and she's got amazing things to offer us. Allison?
Thank you, Matt and Tim, and welcome to the 27th Annual Evening of Hope Gala in support of ALS patients, families, and caregivers in Wisconsin. It is truly my honor to be with you tonight to talk about ALS research and why events like this are so important. ALS patients, families, and caregivers sadly know all too well that ALS strips a person of the ability to walk, talk, swallow, and even breathe. Clinicians and scientists like myself and others all around the world are aiming to better understand what's happening inside the body to cause these devastating effects so that we can try to stop, or better yet, prevent them from happening. On a fundamental level, nerve cells in a specific part of the brain, called the motor cortex, send chemical and electrical signals to nerve cells in the brainstem and spinal cord to tell the muscles to move. In ALS, these chemical and electrical signals get disrupted, the nerve cells die, and the muscles no longer get the messages to move. Scientists have identified a few cellular and molecular processes that could be causing the nerve cells to die. For example, the nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord rely on other cell types in their surrounding area to stay healthy. In ALS, some of these other cell types have been shown to make a toxic environment for the nerve cells. The drug riluzole targets this toxic environment with the thought that this will aid nerve cell function and survival. Another mechanism is that the energy sources in your cells, the mitochondria, have been shown in ALS to be dysfunctional, and that causes excessive stress on the cells, leading to nerve cell loss. Radicava targets this stress mechanism in the hopes of aiding nerve cell survival. However, as many of you are painfully aware, neither riluzole nor Radicava are cures for ALS. It doesn't mean that these treatments aren't doing something to help the nerve cells. It may just mean that they aren't doing enough and that multiple mechanisms might be involved. And this is where future research has great potential. Nerve cells are highly active and produce proteins and molecules to make them work. But in order for the cells to use these proteins, the proteins need to have the proper structure. So I'd like you to think about a new box of holiday lights. Fresh out of the box, the lights are neatly organized with no knots or tangles. Year after year, you use those lights, and when you're finished, they get tossed into a bin and eventually are so tangled that you have to decide whether to spend time untangling all of them or just throw them into the garbage and start over. Your nerve cells make similar decisions with proteins that are made. If some proteins are in knots, the cells must decide whether to spend the energy on untangling them or just to throw them in the cellular garbage can. In ALS, it has been shown that multiple proteins end up in knots. This creates extra burden on the cell and can eventually overwhelm the cellular garbage system to the point where the cell can't handle it anymore and they die. There are new experimental therapies being tested to prevent the proteins from knotting up. So hopefully those will show benefit down the line. The need for research continues because we haven't solved the problem yet. We and others are trying to understand what other mechanisms might be involved. Others are testing whether any of these pathways can be targeted in combination in order to determine whether that improves therapeutic efficacy. Finally, scientists are asking if there are any molecular signatures that can be identified early so that treatment can be started earlier. This is a particularly exciting line of research because if we can see what's changing in the nervous system early on, we can try to interrupt the process. All of these are really important questions that still need to be answered, and we can do that with your help. It's your commitment to and support of ALS research that will help us make strides to better understanding and better treatments. Funds raised from the Evening of Hope go directly towards research into the causes of ALS, which will one day help us to develop the treatments that are so desperately needed. Over the 27 years of the Evening of Hope, more than 25 different genes have been identified and linked to ALS. A second therapeutic drug for ALS, Radicava, was FDA approved. Stem cell transplantation trials have been initiated in ALS patients. A new multi-drug clinical trial design has been developed. Results from over 600 clinical trials have been published, and over 20,000 research articles have been published in the scientific literature. Some results show promise, and some results tell us it's not the path to continue investigating. But all of the results move us forward to a better understanding of the disease, and we need your help to keep going because we still have more to learn. I would like to take this opportunity to answer a couple of questions from families that are with us tonight. John and Deanna Jekyll asked, what is the cost of an ALS research project from start to finish, including working with patients? Cost projections across the clinical trial phases for a single therapy places the price tag at around $50 million. However, it is important to keep in mind that it takes hundreds of smaller experiments to provide the foundational information that allows us to focus on the right path to then conduct those larger clinical trials. Developing therapies takes time and a lot of money, but the therapeutic ideas all started from small research projects supported through events like the Evening of Hope, so every little bit counts. Researchers all over the world are working on ALS, but more financial support could bring even more people into the field and help accelerate discoveries. Jen Key asked, what keeps me hopeful that we'll find a cure for ALS? I'm encouraged by the number of scientific papers that are being published and the number of clinical trials in development, because that really shows that labs are actively engaged in trying to identify underlying causes for the disease and using those data to test new therapies. I know science doesn't tend to move very quickly, but as evidenced by the rapid development and production of a COVID vaccine, persistence and collaboration can really move the needle. I think that the ALS research community is on the right track towards finding a cure, and we will eventually get there. Dan and Jake Utese lost their dad, Jim, to ALS, and noted that Jim loved the Evening of Hope. Dan and Jake asked why events like the Evening of Hope are so important. I had the privilege of meeting Jim on a couple of occasions, and I've since had the pleasure of meeting several other ALS patients and families. I'm inspired by their passion and personal insight into their journeys with ALS. In addition to the critical need for raising funds to support the research endeavors that I talked about tonight, the Evening of Hope is so much more than that. It reminds me why I do the work that I do, and it provides that personal connection. But I also think the Evening of Hope reminds the greater community that we can all play a part in making our friends, acquaintances, and neighbors' lives better by supporting them in whatever way we can. Thank you all for joining us tonight at the Evening of Hope. I hope that this has provided you with a better idea of what the ALS research community is working on and how you can help us achieve our goal of finding a cure for ALS.
Allison, thank you so much. It is people like you who are helping us understand where we are and what we still need to accomplish.
I love Dr. Ebert. I've known her for a number of years, and as far as advocates go, you couldn't ask for anybody better. Matt, I don't know if you knew this, but a donation of just $500 tonight would buy 2 antibodies to test protein expression or localization in a cell. Or that $1,000 would cover the cost of a couple of important reagents to differentiate motor neurons from stem cells.
Actually, I did know that. Did you know that $5,000 would cover the cost of a small RNA sequencing experiment to test gene expression differences between ALS and control conditions? And $10,000 could cover a pilot mouse experiment testing delivery of a therapeutic agent to ALS mice. That's a great contribution.
I actually knew that as well. All of this is to say that every single penny, every single dollar tonight counts. Matt, let's check the big board. I bet the donations are coming in.
And we're already starting to make ALS disappear. Let's see where we're at. If you want to help Allison and the ALS community, head to bidpal.net, end ALS, or text end ALS, one word, to 243725, and the miracle of cellular technology will fling right back at you, and you'll be able to give. As everyone knows, Tim, the ALS Association, our families mean the most to us.
No doubt.
They really do. And I know there's so many of those families joining today because we saw them, because we can see you too. So why don't we take a few minutes to say hello to a couple of them if we could.
Let's do it.
Anyone there?
Hello?
Are there some Utkies out there?
Do you hear the Utkies? Let's get them in. Stream them in.
Whoa, there's a lot of Utkies.
Wait a second. That sounds like a room full of Utkies.
Whoa!
You guys are doing a great job.
Great to see you guys. So we can't thank you enough for joining us tonight, of course. With all of the support that you guys have delivered over the years, how would you describe tonight? What is important to you tonight? Why is this night so important for the Utkies?
Well, research is important to us, so families don't go through what we've been through and what you guys have been through. So bid often and a lot, and hopefully we'll find a cure.
And hopefully we're going to see you next year in person, hobnobbing and all dressed up to the nines like Tim and me with your special shoes on. But we're doing the guests. How's your family doing tonight? Did you have a nice dinner?
Yes, we did. Delicious.
Now, how many Utkies are actually in the room right now?
8.
That's a lot of Utkies. And tell us what your family's journey with ALS was. Just give us a brief remembrance.
Yeah?
Oh, go ahead.
My uncle, my dad's brother, passed away, I think 6-7 years ago. And I got involved with the chapter through Brad Hicks.
Yeah, and Jen, you've been great on the leadership team, so we've enjoyed you and your whole family's support.
Yeah, we continue to.
I'm sorry, you guys. It's truly a team effort. We give, our heart and soul to this every year, and Melanie and the team talk us into crazy things every single year, and we keep coming back because finding a cure is so important.
Yeah.
Well, and one day we're all going to meet when we've solved this disease, and it's just going to be pure celebration.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for your sponsorship. Thank you for your help. Really great checking in with you guys tonight.
And if you just want to keep backing us up, just don't mute yourself. Just keep talking. We'll still hear you.
Keep bidding on the cabin.
I love those guys. So I've known Jen for a number of years now, and I mentioned Allison being an advocate, but I think you will find a common theme with everybody that we talk to tonight, and anybody that you meet in the chapter. Somebody that you meet within this chapter is going to be an automatic advocate, and really strong words, really draw attention and draw the financial resources that we need in order to solve this problem.
Yeah, what we find out is everybody's got loved ones, and this damn disease tends to take a lot of them. And what it does is it gets us all so motivated to be here tonight, and motivates all you to talk to us.
Yep.
So, is there anybody else out there we might talk to?
Let's see. Let's find out.
Maybe some
Spin the
drummels,
wheel.
maybe some drummels, maybe some slades, maybe.
I know. Hey, I got one. A very, very big friend of mine, a very huge supporter of the ALS community. He is the CEO from New Motion, Swinford. Mike Swinford, are you out there?
I'm here, fellas. I really appreciate the gift box of the Bola and the youth medium-sized T-shirt that's cutting off the circulation to my entire upper extremities. So thanks for knowing my size.
Yeah, well, don't forget, you also got a lot of pictures of Tim and I in our underwear, so you've got that forever, too.
I do have that I'll never be able to unsee, so we appreciate that. You guys are doing an outstanding job. I've been texting Tim with your children throughout the night, and to put it in Teelan's words, my dad is a stud. She literally texted me that about 5 minutes ago. And who doesn't want their daughter to see their dad that way? I couldn't agree more. You guys are doing an outstanding job. Thank you so much for being the MCs tonight. This is such an important night. I miss everybody. There's nothing like being there live. There's nothing I miss more than the hugs with everybody. Let's all donate often. Let's continue to raise the bar on the money that we're going to contribute. And New Motion is here to support each and every one of the families impacted by ALS, and we couldn't be more passionate about making a difference in all of your lives. And obviously, Trickett was a personal friend of mine and a colleague of mine at GE. It's how I got to know Tim and his incredibly beautiful family. And she was one of the most amazing people I've ever known, and just an inspiration. We have an award at New Motion in her name, the Trickett Wendler Award, that we've given out every year for 6 years for positively impacting people's lives through grace and compassion and a relentless fight. And it's an honor every year to be able to recognize somebody in our company on behalf of Trickett, and it's an honor to be here with all of you tonight. So thank you so much for your participation, and let's all continue to make ALS go away, and let's raise. I think the goal is very low. I think we should raise the bar. I think we should shoot for a much higher number.
Hey, speaking of that,
I'm personally going to contribute $10,000 tonight, so I challenge everybody to find a way to.
That is awesome.
Let's raise the bar, and let's really do what we can to make this horrible disease go away.
Hey, Swinford, you must know Tim Casey, right?
I do know Tim Casey. I think he might be watching somewhere.
Yeah, Tim Casey emailed me this week, and he said, I will pay anything to stop having to see you and Tim in your underwear in my email every day. So shout out for Tim Casey to join his boss.
And I don't think we're alone in that wish. I think all of us are tired of seeing all of you in your underwear. Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for the child-sized shirt, and please continue on the evening.
Thank you.
let's raise the bar here and the money we can raise.
Mike, I can't thank you enough. I love you, brother. I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you. I miss you guys. I wish we were together. To Thielen, to Tanner, to Torin, thank you for turning your cameras on briefly so I could see your beautiful faces. I miss you guys, and I can't wait to see you live when the pandemic really is behind us.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
I'll tell you, again,
That is a great guy.
yeah, no, I mean, he's been incredible. Triggett worked with him at GE, and then he once he became the CEO at New Motion, his advocacy for us, not just in the ALS community, but for our family personally, I can't say enough how much I appreciate Mike. Kids, if you're watching at home, give Mike a call. Tell him that you guys are taking care of the puppy right now. The puppy is fine. You're feeding it. You're walking it every day. You're training it. Mike will appreciate that update.
And what's the backstory on that? Did that happen in an auction, Tim?
I was very lucky a couple of years ago, Matt. I don't know if you know this story. A couple of years ago, I was the recipient of the Evening of Hope ALS Foundation dog at the end of the night. I will tell you, people have asked me if I am a puppy whisperer. I will tell you that the words puppy and whisper should never be used in the same sentence, in my experience.
And how's Tessa now?
She is 2 years old. We are keeping her alive. I will tell you the impact for the kids, of course, is something that cannot be explained or cannot be replaced. It is something that is, we joke about it, but obviously all the money goes for a good cause, and the impact on my family I can't replace.
It's beautiful. All right, guess what? We've got a couple more special guests on deck right now, and oh man, you guys are gonna love us. Their energy is truly contagious.
Yeah.
So you're going to hear now from Maggie Buren and her husband Mike. Maggie is an ALS patient, and her husband has been on her side throughout it all. They live just a couple of blocks from us. I see her around the neighborhood, and everyone just loves her, and you will too.
Hi, my name is Maggie Buren. I was diagnosed with ALS in July of 2019.
And I'm Michael Coffey, Maggie's spouse.
We are grateful to have this opportunity to talk to the chapter and to all of you that are supporting the ALS efforts. I just need to say, when I got that diagnosis, I thought I was prepared because I had done some research and knew other people that had ALS, but one prepared for that final word and diagnosis of what's to come. It was wonderful in a sense because we had a lot of support around us and continue to have a lot of support around us, but it's a very scary thought in terms of what the future might hold.
For my part, I did a fair bit of catastrophizing. My world fell apart, and I sort of went immediately to a pretty dark place. And the first people to call us were the staff from the local chapter of the ALS Association. I can tell you their sort of presence of being joyful in this situation where we're facing a deadly disease. They kept us buoyed up emotionally and kept us on track in terms of who to call about what. They've connected us with the support group, which is just this transcendent, remarkable group of people who are facing the same thing as us and joy among one another. And Mary has also been my go-to person whenever I need advice, where to find somebody, where to find someone. So grateful.
So not just the support group that meets monthly in person or in Zoom, but also the fact that we have the loan closet and a place where we can go for equipment. We don't think we want to buy it right away. We can try it out or use theirs indefinitely. The loan closet through the chapter has been super helpful. Just overall, I have to say thank you so much to the chapter and most importantly to the support that we've received, not just our own personal support, but through the chapter, because we have met some amazing people in those ALS circles, those who have lit the way for us. And we know it's not a bright path, but others who have gone through it have helped us tremendously. Likewise, we want to return that favor. There are people who are newly diagnosed, and we want to make sure that we can do whatever we can to make their their fears reduced or to help them as they face this horrible disease. And as true to our marriage, we really love being in service to others. So it's important to mentor those who are new in the group, but important also for our own family and friends that we're teaching them about the disease and helping them know how hard it is, and yet how grateful we are because of the faith and grace that we've been given, that we can handle this. But we cannot handle it alone. So we're incredibly grateful to ALS National, to the registry, and to the local chapter for making it as bearable as possible. Thank you for including us in this evening's event.
Thanks so much for your support.
Oh, Maggie and Michael, thank you so much. We love you guys.
Yeah, that's just listening to you guys is just, it just reinforces everything we've been hearing tonight. The inspiration. And you're not wrong. Like everybody that you meet in these circles, you're just going to find one inspiring story after another. So you're getting a great feel for what the Wisconsin ALS chapter means to patients and their families, caregivers. So let's get out there. Let's open up our checkbooks. Do it for families like Maggie and Michael. Please text END ALS, one word, to 243-725 to donate now, or visit bidpal.net/EndALS.
Yeah, we are here for you all, and you are here for us. This is Neighbors Helping Neighbors. Truly, those are neighbors of mine, and please do what you can to help them. Tim, do we know where we are in terms of making ALS disappear?
We're going to take a look at that in just 1 second. A quick shout out to everybody at home. You see we've switched away from the Bacardi. A quick shout out to Molson Coors. This is the Light Sky Citrus Sweet Blue Moon.
It's not just a product placement, it's delicious.
It is delicious. All right, let's take a look at the big board. Here we go. The L is going away, Matt. 20,000. That is spectacular. Wow. That is, so we're looking great so far, Matt. Making that L disappear, it looks like we're at about a little over 20,000 for donations and auction bids. That is amazing. It's so great for all of us to be working together towards this cause.
Yeah, let's just keep it going. I want to see that whole ALS disappear, just like I want to see my beard disappear. So I know that we can do better. I know we can reach this goal. I know I can clean my face up. In addition to texting END ALS, one word, to 243-725, if you haven't done that already, and clicking on the link. Keep looking at those auction items. We have so many generous people that donated these items, and let me tell you, when you get one, it makes a whole big difference. A couple years ago, back when we were in person, Tim, I bid on and I won the largest snowblower in the history of North America. And my ALS snowblower this winter came in handy not just for me, but my whole neighborhood, because every time we had one of those blizzards, I was so inspired because I won it at an auction that I snowblowed the whole block.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you heard that. What Matt is saying is if you bid now, he will come to your house personally with his own snowblower and snowblow your driveway.
Yep.
Matt, thank you so much.
Send your address. I'm there for you.
I don't know if you guys can see this at home, but Matt's beard is disappearing, the same as ALS is disappearing. I'm watching it live on stage, and I'm actually amazed. I don't know how you do it, Matt. It's amazing.
It's just what we're going to do for ALS. Just make it disappear. It's going to make you feel all fresh. As a reminder, the auction is open until 9 o'clock tonight. So if you've got a bid in, don't forget, there's going to be those late people who just snipe in right at 8:58 and try to take what you want away from you. Don't let it happen. You can get that last bid.
That's right. Taking a look at the items so the auction's been open for a number of days now. I didn't even realize, and this is going to sound embarrassing to say out loud, my own daughter had contributed tonight, and so I started to bid on some of her things today. Every single time I bid, Matt, somebody else is outbidding me.
Right, and I try to remind you, you could have your daughter make one just for you.
It would, right.
You could just give the money to ALS, Tim.
That's true. You could do that as well. Absolutely true.
But take a look. There's things that you can use right now. There's a trip to Key West. I think that's somewhere in Florida. It's a big, really warm state. I know. It was about 80 degrees here today, but it's always 80 degrees there.
Yeah.
So think about that. Take a look. You could literally be going down there this weekend.
Yeah, sports memorabilia, autographs, signed things by people that you know and love, sports figures that are famous in Wisconsin and around the country. It is, you're not going to go, obviously the money goes to a good cause, but you're actually getting quality products.
Did you see there's a baseball signed by all 4 Brewer MVPs?
You don't say.
Oh, I do say. My brother, Mike, was trying to bid on it today, and he actually texted me to ask if I could just set a buy it now bid. I said, no, Mike, we can't cheat. This is for ALS, just contribute.
That's right. Good advice, that's right.
Tim, what's glamping, by the way?
So glamping, I can't say that I'm an expert on it, but I understand that it is a toned down, kind of a modified way of going out and camping. I think, don't quote me on this, I think it's the equivalent of going to a hotel, checking in for a night, and spending the night at a hotel.
Because my version of camping is usually a little closer to Naked and Afraid. Just head out to the woods with a bar of soap and maybe a pack of food, and that's it.
Right, right. I understand. So it's a brand new word. I don't know when it was introduced, but that is an auction item out there. There's glamping that's available to us tonight. All you got to do is bid.
Wow. Ought to do that. And maybe some golf items?
Yeah, listen.
I hear there's a putter with a lime on it.
I understand that putter has never, ever missed. And every time you swing that putter, the ball goes in the hole.
It's a magic putter.
All right.
Yelich jersey?
There's a Yelich jersey out there as well. I had
I'll
my
take
eyes
that.
on that one. That is a good one.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, and because this is, kind of a fun show, we have to give a call out to Aaron Rodgers, just like Jodie Foster, just like everybody else. So
Everybody loves Aaron.
Aaron Rodgers, he's a supporter of the ALS Association, so thanks,
true.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Get that jersey.
Yeah. As a reminder, the auction will be open until 9 p.m. tonight. Please get your bids in and keep an eye on it all night. You're never out of it until the end.
And then you're out of it. But you're going to get that last bid in. All right. Keep bidding on the auction, but let's see if we can get back to our program here.
All right, let's do it. So time's flying by. I think it is time that we have another conversation with a family out there. So joining us live, one of my very favorite couples on the planet, the Jekyll family. Jekyll, John, Deanna, are you guys out there?
We're here, boys.
Oh, my gosh.
Looking good.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, John.
We were muted, then we were unmuted. We're a little Zoom confused yet.
Hey, John, not only can we hear you, but you are speaking into Tim and my ears directly, and that's the only chance you'll ever have to do that. If you want to whisper sweet nothings.
Very
Well, listen, you guys have been tremendous supporters. You guys have been involved and inspirational and kind of leading the way for us. Can you share with us a little bit about your story with ALS and your journey and why tonight's important?
Well, I was diagnosed with ALS in July of 2010. And so my progression has been very slow. And throughout the journey, the ALS Association has been there to support me, to support Deanna, and we felt that we would do whatever we could to give back. We got involved first with Advocacy Day in Washington, D.C. Back in probably 2013. Yep. And from then on, modeled my behavior after warriors like Trickett and Jim Utese, people who I saw out there doing what I thought was necessary, getting the voice of patients out in front of people so that the world kind of knew what ALS was about.
Yeah, John, one of the favorite pieces of swag I ever got at an event is a T-shirt with your face on it. I love it. When I want to scare people, I pull that out every time.
Oh, yeah. There are a few of those floating around, Matt.
And I hear you run one of the best fundraisers ever up at the Berkey. Is that right?
Well, we try. We got the American Birkebeiner Ski Foundation involved about 7 years ago. And so every year we help put together Team ALS, and we raise money for ALS by people sponsoring skiers in the Birkebeiner. I was a Birkebeiner skier before ALS kind of took the poles out of my hands.
You were a full Berkey?
Yeah, I did 17 full Berkeys.
Oh my gosh, you are awesome. We knew that.
Want to know about that?
Confirms.
But I finished. Let's put it that way.
Deanna, how are you holding up? How's everything tonight? How's your evening? How's the, why is this night important to you?
We're in Florida, so it's been almost 2 months, and it's been awesome.
That's great. I don't know if you heard earlier, but Matt has offered to drive down there with his snowblower. I don't know if you guys have anything.
That would be great, man.
There's a lot of snow here on Siesta Key.
I think I can actually drive the snowblower. I think that's how big it is.
Well, listen, you guys keep doing what you're doing. You guys are so inspirational. Every time that we see you, I know that we're going to be inspired every single time. You guys look great. There you go. We appreciate your advocacy. We appreciate your participation tonight. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Likewise,
Thanks,
guys.
John.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks,
Hey, everybody.
Deanna.
Have a great night.
All right. Oh, man.
I love those guys. I would tell you, John and Deanna, I know I'm a bit of a broken record, but, you know, it's the personal stories that really connect with people. When you really want to get to the heart of why ALS is important and why finding a cure is so important is because when you talk with these families and you understand the real impact to the patients, to the families, to the caregivers that go on there, and the Jekylls are at the top of the list.
Yeah, we love John and Deanna. They are great, great supporters of the association. They give meaning just like the rest to why we're here tonight to end ALS. So please support us. Please support. We want to keep John around.
Yep.
Right? So I think we're going to hear from another couple, Jackie and Ted Hawkinson now, another fabulous couple that is dealing with the worst disease we know.
Jackie and Ted, you're on.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the 27th Annual Evening of Hope.
Hi, I'm Jackie. Good evening. This is my husband, Ted, and we are very excited to be participating in tonight's event. 2021 not only marks the 27th Annual Evening of Hope and the first Gala at Home, but it also marks Ted's 9th journey with ALS. Shortly after Ted was diagnosed, I started to research clinical trials for Ted to participate in. If we could not find something to help Ted, we hope to help find something for other families so that they never had to go through what we went through. 9 months after Ted was diagnosed, we got selected to be in a clinical trial. The trial was a dosage escalation trial that used Ted's own stem cells called fat disposition cells, injected them into his spinal cord. There's always a blood-brain barrier that you have to worry about. The trial was to determine the number of stem cells of Ted's that could be inserted in his spinal cord. Ted got 10 million. Ultimately, the clinical trial landed on 400 million, 3 shots that would equal that. That research, and the reason we are here tonight, is to help raise money for the ALS patient research and our Wisconsin chapter of support services. Speaking of sports services, back in 2012, when Ted was diagnosed, we had gone to our local doctor. They had told us that Ted had this life-changing event. He has ALS. And that was it. They had no information. We literally left there stunned. The next day, I went to our chapter, our Wisconsin chapter of ALS, and there I found information. I always call it our chapter. It's not our chapter, it's our chapter. Our chapter helps more than 400 families in Wisconsin that are on the ALS journey. They helped us prepare, understand what ALS was, the stages of ALS, the importance of being a good care provider, and actually even the final stages of ALS. On our first appointment, when we went to see Dr. Barkhouse at the ALS clinic, he also walked through what ALS was, how the team approach was going to take place, and how we were going to have to go through this process. And at the end of the meeting, there was our chapter right there asking us if they could help us with anything or if there was anything that we needed. Our support services, many of you may not know what it does. When we remodeled our floor, we took our carpeting out and put in new laminate, or even when we remodeled our bathroom, we applied to the Memorial Fund and receive $500 towards our upgrades. Plus, Melanie and her friends were here last year as superheroes, here to just brighten our day. I will never forget it. Melanie and her team set up sailing for Ted in Sheboygan, where he and his buddies got together and off they sailed. And I remember it was just a beautiful day. And off they went. I stayed on the shore, not good with big water, but he had a great time. Since then, he's flown in an airplane at EAA. He's done alpine sit ski at Pine Mountain, Michigan, through Moving Mountains. And if you know us, every weekend in the summer, we're UTVing. We tell Dr. Barkhouse and Dr. Fee later, after we do all that crazy stuff. If 2020 has taught us anything, it has taught us to be resilient. It has taught us to ask for help. And it has taught us that there is no problem that we can go through, that we're not alone. Our chapter is there for us. All right, before we go, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. We want to help raise some money.
Bid high and bid often.
Bid high and bid often. It's time for us to have a glass of wine and somebody else to have some bourbon. Sorry, Dr. Fee.
Bid high and bid often.
Thanks, everyone. Stay safe.
Wow. Jackie, Ted, thank you guys so much. Grateful for you guys sharing your journey. It is, it's listening to stories like that are things that, it's just a constant reminder for us on why we're here tonight. There's different events that we attend outside of COVID, and we try to raise awareness throughout the year. But listening to the personal stories of like Ted and Jackie, it really brings home exactly why this is so important. This is a disease that can be cured, it should be cured, and it will be cured. And because of stories like that, it's going to help us in our overall goal. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Ted and Jackie. That is, again, exactly what we're about here, is to make sure we can put an end to this. We know we can. We know it's there. We're going to find it. We just got to keep trying. And all the donations you make tonight are going to go directly to that research to end this. And as we watch ALS slowly disappear tonight, we want to thank everybody that's donated from home just by hitting those buttons. They make it so easy. You just have to. We're going to be coming up towards the end of our program tonight, but remember, the auction stays open till 9, and you can keep donating until 9 p.m. All of that is going to go towards our goal to making ALS disappear. Tim, have you noticed anything else disappear tonight?
I have, as I stand on this stage right now, at the beginning of this evening, I distinctly remember seeing a different man in front of me. And now what I'm seeing is that the face has transformed.
I'm 10 years younger, aren't I? It's just amazing. I grow the beard out to put some gray on to impress people, and then they're just shocked when I come out and shave it away, and I look like this little
it's
kid.
It's spectacular. Do you do that on the top of the head too? Does that all?
There's really not too much to do.
It's all gone. That's all gone.
It's just amazing. It's like a parlor trick.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, and this might be redundant, but check out the online auction. The items out there, we were just taking a look just a minute ago. The online auction, the items, they're still available. Matt just mentioned that it's going to stay open for a little bit longer.
Golfing,
check.
Tim and I, for anybody that wins one of the golf outings, we'll join you, gratis.
Yeah, no problem. You guys let us know the where and the when. We'll meet you there. That sounds great. Now, you've already got this memorized, and if you don't, find somebody born after the year 2000, have them bring out their phone and show you how to use it. But in case you don't remember, for any last-minute bids, please text END ALS, one word, to 243-725 and to donate and bid now. Why don't we go ahead and do one more check-in on exactly where we're at on helping ALS disappear. Drum roll says, Oh, that A's coming away.
All
Just
right.
like Matt's beard.
All right, that is another $13,000 going to make ALS disappear. So we're at $33,813. So we are 1/3 of the way to our goal. People, we appreciate everything you do. This is amazing, and we know you can do more. We know those Tim Caseys are out there that never want to see Tim and I in our underwear again.
Well, that's right.
We're going to keep sending it if we don't hit this goal.
Now,
it's not a threat, it's a promise.
That's right. One note that I should say, I understand from the officials here that the dog has already, the online auction dog that I was lucky enough to win 2 years ago, has already been auctioned off, is gone. That doesn't mean that you can do two things. One, you can donate your money to ALS, it goes to a good cause, but then you could also go out and get a dog of yourself. I am here to tell you, straight from my heart, that I love this dog more than anything, and it's going to bring warmth and happiness to any hearth that is out there.
Yeah, we really appreciate whoever it was, because we can't see who the donors are, but whoever bought that beautiful little golden retriever puppy. I don't know what your plans are for naming the dog, but do you have some thoughts, Tim?
Everybody in my family starts with a T, so we named our dog Tessa.
Yeah, you do have that theme going. So my family, we go different. We just got a brand new dog, and his name is Clifford Walter Winter White.
Is it really?
It is. He goes by Cliff, but...
I wish I would have stolen it.
And his older sister is Ivy Frances Washington. So you got to have plenty of names for your dogs.
Do you use all those words when you're yelling at do you ever yell at the dog?
Oh, yes. We have serious talks, and that's when you pull out the full name.
Sure, that's the only time. Yeah, that's when you're trying to really discipline them. All right, now remember, tonight is not just the only night. We're talking about a very important reason why Matt and I get dressed up and we put in tuxedos, and we want to talk to you guys from our heart and very specifically about what's important tonight. But it's not just about tonight. It's about the goal of making ALS disappear. Please keep those bids coming in.
Tim, do you know where I got this tuxedo?
No, I don't.
It's my dad's tuxedo.
It is? Is it Bruce's?
Yeah, so after he passed and we went through his stuff, I tried his tux on and I realized it fit. And so every time I get to go to one of these events, I get to think of the great Bruce O'Neill. So
that's great.
It fits well.
Yeah, you look good. You look good. And the beard, too.
So please, everyone, don't give up on us. We're going to win this fight. We can do it. We have done it. We raised all this money. It's gone into the research, and they are getting closer and closer, as Allison said.
We would be remiss if we didn't thank not just everybody that appeared with us tonight, but all of our great sponsors. Obviously, this cannot happen without everybody's support out there. You guys continue to support us, and we know that we're on the right path. We know we're making the right progress going forward. When you think about and are online and considering making your donations, please think about all of the different stories that you've heard tonight. Think about Dr. Ebert's work and what she can do and the money that you donate tonight, how that can improve individual people's lives and the overall goal of making ALS disappear. Every single nickel counts.
Right, exactly. If you ever have any doubt about whether you should or shouldn't hit that button and donate a little bit more towards this cause, think of Maggie and Michael. Think of Ted and Jackie, think of what they're going through, and think of helping them and helping others never have to go through that.
From the very bottom of our hearts, we want to thank you guys sincerely for all of our sponsors, for everybody that tuned in tonight, for all of our families and caregivers, and patients especially, dedicating themselves to this singular cause. Please keep fighting towards a cure. ALS will disappear. It's because of people like you guys tonight and my wife Trickett and your dad Bruce that we're all gonna get through this. And we're gonna solve this problem and find a cure for ALS.
Yeah, my dad would be in full-throated support of raising money to make this disease disappear and not have to have people go through what he went through and what he saw other people with ALS going through. So thanks everybody for logging on tonight, for spending an hour with Tim and with me. Thanks to the sponsors. Thanks for everybody for everything you do.
Next year, we fully intend to see everybody in person. We're looking forward to that, obviously. In the meantime, the auction is still open for a little bit longer. Please continue to donate. We appreciate everybody's efforts, and good night.
Good night, everybody. All right, let's get back some hoops.
All right, let's play some hoops.